Apparently a machine made for streaming just decided to die, but I'll give it back to Marc Shadee, the speaker, to go ahead and take it away for us.
Thanks, Doji. I know that frazzled you slightly. All right. I'm gonna touch on these rewards here, and we've talked about these, I think, but I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna go over them again, like at a high level. Um, Direct monetary rewards not allowed. That's mainly due to the fact that direct just giving money is not a fun or engaging experience. Number one, and two, it's not very motivating long term. Next one's no individual rewards. This is about being a team. So, being a team, you want to do things together. That doesn't mean everybody has to do the same thing, but you want to have group activities, not everybody off doing their own thing as a reward. The next one's a critically important one. Everyone gets to set objectives in the game. Everybody gets a voice in how they're improving. The team isn't just being told how to improve. They're they're improving based off of what they as a group want to. All right, moving along here. Um, the next rule deals with, well, what happens if a person tries to game the system? Well, the way I deal with that, everybody's an adult. If you're going to game a system that is meant to make work more enjoyable for you, honestly, we're just stop playing the game. The value is in improvement and getting better, not just in getting rewarded. It's a combination. It's a trade back and forth. Next one deals with for team members. Any team member can challenge an objective. It's by design. So you can say like, hey, I think we need to alter the amount of points we get for like a rule. So the deploy example earlier, well, it's 2 per mistake. Let's make it 5. Let's make it hurt when we make mistakes because we gotten good at not making too many mistakes. And so you can make objectives harder or less hard. It's designed to kind of be a challenge and introspective point. And then points shouldn't be all or nothing. So they'll be awarded by percent or sliding scale, but you aren't just going to have you do this or not. It's going to be like, what are the stages of doing it? And the point of that is the first time you do it, you might get 50% of those rewards. Next time, 75. Well, if it's all or nothing, those would both be 0, right? So those aren't really beneficial to a team to have all or nothing. But to be able to see that progress as you slowly achieve that reward over various, rounds or iterations is pretty powerful feeling for people. Next one, whole team must agree on what reward to choose to cash in. Again, team game. So you guys need to agree together what to do. As said previously, my team loves game time. So they stack hands on doing games together and then they play them. The whole team should receive the reward. So you can't say, hey, you didn't do a lot this sprint, you don't get the reward. No, the team succeeds or fails as a team. Everybody gets the reward. The next one's kind of tricky, but basically what it means is if you're trying to receive a reward and you're picking a reward that's for one sprint, it should be equivalent iteration or round two. It should be equivalent to that one deal. So less valuable. More valuable rewards should be rewarded with, to go out to Dave and Buster's, I'll say. That'd be a high reward. So it's going to take a lot of points, but that is good reward for that. You don't want to say, okay, 500 points for a $5 gift card for everyone. That's a lot of points for very little reward. It's not very motivating. And the next one deals with points, and they expire at the end of a quarter. Now this is key. If you keep stacking points quarter over quarter, it's going to make the person who's running the game very frazzled, because what'll happen is that they will sit there and stack like 4,000 points, and they'll be like, well, we're taking off the entire next week to play games because we have that many points. But the thing is it doesn't benefit the team either, because the team had to work for a year without any sort of points for the game to get that same deal. So that's not fun for either group of people. So you expire them so they get used inside of those time blocks. The most important rule: rules can be broken, These are here just to guide good practice, but they are not here to be completely enforced without any regard to your particular scenario. Our team doesn't follow all these rules all the times, and that's okay. But as long as we keep to that, and we understand why we're going away from the rules and what our needs are, that's more important than just following the system just as it's laid out. So this is a bit about Scrum, but I'm going to talk about this in terms of rounds for you guys too. So if you're familiar with Scrum events, you can see the Scrum events at the bottom. Mainly what I'm going to discuss is the important parts, which is planning the objectives, keeping the objectives in sight, and inspect and adapt the objectives. So getting into the first one, planning. So you want to have a meeting at the start of your round that you can plan your objectives. So, hey, here's the 10 objectives that we're going to do this round. Here's the points we're associating with them. And then here's how we're going to score them. Does everybody kind of agree or want to modify or change? And you can carry over the same objectives from last round. In fact, a lot of times do that, but just adjust them slightly. And then also, this is where you would add bonus points. So if leadership's like, we would really like this other thing too, great. We'll add that in as bonus points for the team to focus on if they can. The next part is dealing with the stand-up portion or daily kind of reminder. Hey, guys, don't forget, we got these objectives we're doing. Don't forget to keep your eye on them and make sure that we're accomplishing them. And then pointing out opportunities where you can get those bonus points. So let's say one of them is, hey, as a team, we want you all to work the same thing together, but we're not making an objective, but it's a bonus. So we'll say one day someone's like, I could use help. You say, hey, great, that person can use help. Guys, there's an opportunity. If you all help them, you can get some bonus points. So it's kind of guiding in the thought of keeping these in mind instead of making them a background object. And the last thing is kind of a retrospective in terms of sprint terminology. But what you're doing is at the end of the round or iteration, you want to inspect the objectives. You want to talk about what was challenging for you in those objectives, what was successful for you, and what to improve upon. And that's both in the objectives themselves and in how you accomplish those objectives inside of that time period. And this allows your team a chance to see how you're improving, what you could improve on more, and kind of ideate on how to do more of that in the future as well. So this is kind of a wider thought here. So one of the problems is, well, yeah, this all sounds great, but I don't know how to get my leadership to want to do this or be engaged to do this. And so I found a magic word when it comes to leadership. If you frame something as an experiment, leadership's down for that, because okay, if it's an experiment, it can end if it's bad. So it's not something that's necessarily ongoing. It's something we can try out, and then if it works for us, great, and if it doesn't, great. The trick is that on your end, you run the experiment, and then what you do is you propose how to improve the experiment, so the experiment continues on after the initial box. So you keep getting better, and leadership really likes that as well. So the other key thing is, don't say we're magically going to do 500% more work than we're doing now. You're not. This is something that you're going to see gradual improvement over time with. So present this as an experiment that will, over time, see net gain, but not necessarily immediately. And then lastly, leadership can be a little tricky about money. So saying, hey, what if we did time-based rewards instead? So the team's going to be producing more work or getting more stuff done. What if we give some of the time back to them? And that's generally an easier sell up front than going straight into, like, we need $300 to go to a rage room and have a fun night out or something of that nature. So this is another tool to help. And I will be giving the slides out so you have access to this. But this is a great tool here, where what this is this tells you the psychology of what you are as a gamer. So this is mine. I'm an achiever explorer mostly. I like to get lots of, the Xbox achievements, and I like to explore everything in the environment. But if you know this, and everybody in the team knows kind of what they are and what their teammates are for how they like to play, you can frame objectives towards that. So you want to be an achiever? Well, objectives are just naturally designed for that. So that's not really hard. But you want to explore? Well, what about learning something new about the system being an objective or bonus points? And so you can drive in things that will engage each person by understanding their types. Killer is PvP, so that's some more competitive stuff, but you can still play with those kind of concepts, and it just gives you a way to be informed about the people that are actually playing the game. So you might not remember, but at the beginning, there's a quote, and I actually chopped the quote in half. So this part of the quote is my favorite, which is the creative mind plays with the objects it loves. And to me, it really resonates because here's the thing. We all do work all the time, right? But we don't enjoy or play as much as we should. And part of this is to help build a bridge to enjoying and playing through, like, man, I love being able to be my own boss and getting objectives and things out there. It helps us bring back that enjoyment to what we're doing versus just doing something just so we get a paycheck at the end of the day. And as counterintuitive as it sounds, because you enjoy and because you're playing with the thing, you're going to want to do more of it. And in doing more of it, I mean, the business profits, they happily take that, right? But at the same time, it's less of a burden on you as well. So it's my hope that these kinds of systems can help make it enjoyable and fun to come back to work and less frazzled in your day-to-day lives. And on that note, got one more Menti for you. How many times did I say the word for the today? And I will bring up the slide here. And Tori, if you would either message me on Slack or Google with the number, we'll see who gets it right. And I'll talk to that question while we're doing this. I see that one in chat. What are the benefits that a leader should expect from this? So one of the biggest benefits is that the leader can see what motivates and guides the team because the team is setting objectives. It allows the leader to put in objectives or bonus point objectives is what I'm talking about here to help encourage the team stretch further. But the goal here is they get an empowered team that has high agency to do work that is constantly focused on improving. So when you look at benefits, it's you have a team that's flatline that is just doing work in the day-to-day process versus a team that's inspecting. The team that's inspecting and adapting their processes to do work is going to end up doing much more work, either higher quality, more work, or be better prepared for the work than your team that is not inspecting. So those would be the benefits. Looking for a design team, what ways might this process be customized for a design team? So what I would do is the only thing you need to really tweak would be and I'm not a designer, I'm gonna be honest with you. So part of this is gonna come from leveraging your guys' creativity from mine. But imagine the work you do as a designer. Imagine how you do the work that you do. Now imagine all the ways that you would like to do that work better, like either things that you control or things that are controlled out externally. And then imagine those things being the things you focus on week after week in a game to be able to improve upon over time. So to me, I would adapt them to whatever the processes and ways of delivery are. Now here's a key thing. Some of them aren't direct. Like I need to draw faster. I'm gonna be honest. Again, not a designer, guys. Just apologize on that. But it's not about your work so much as we need to protect our time better, so we have time to be creative. So you could have an objective that says everybody spends exactly half their time out of meetings, and see what kind of result you get out of that then. So it's about getting what you need to do your job better more than anything else. All right, I don't see any votes yet. Has anyone, no guesses at all?
Man, we might have lost some people during
yeah,
our technical difficulties.
That's fine. I'll move on because I mean we're moving into the question and answer anyway, so I want to make sure that we're hitting on that. So so what I would like is any questions. We've already started answering them, or any feedback. that you had, I am down for. My goal is hopefully I provided something of use to you, but if there are things I can improve upon, please let me know. Also, if you have any questions, I'm in the Techlahoma Slack. Feel free to reach out with specific instances, and I'll happily kind of give you ideas on how to overcome specific scenarios as well. But that's basically it, except for if there are any other questions.
So we had some guesses from a different channel. Somebody, his name is named AC, had heard 2 twice. Was it 2?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't AC. It was a Patrick. Patrick heard.
Do you
2
lose
for-
points?
No,
Did you get it wrong?
no, this is strictly for fun.
So that's the guess that we have.
Okay,
2.
yeah. Tori, how many did you count?
Okay, I counted 3 total.
That's what I had too. So yeah, three. Sorry for the low amount, but yeah, it's 3. All right. Well, if there are no other questions.
We have 1 minute, so I'll just ask a quick question from our Slack. What ways might this process be customized for a design team?
Sure, I slightly addressed that before, but just touching on that again, I would say look at the way you do work versus the way what work you do. So don't go for, okay, this is a thing I need to do and I need to have X amount of units across the line, because you're doing creative work. That's not going to help you. But how are you doing work, and what could you improve about the ways that you are doing work? So are you in a ton of meetings? Are your meetings spread out through the day so you really can't get into a creative space between them? Well, that might be an objective to reorganize everybody's meetings so they're in a particular area.
Don't I know that?
That.
And it is 12:30 on the dot. Just want to wrap that all up. Thank you so much, Marc, for coming in. This was really fun and helpful. And yes, Marc's going to send out the slides as well, so that's exciting. We'll have some access to that, and if anyone's interested. Marc, is there anywhere else? So we have the Slack channel. If anyone has follow-up questions.
I'm on LinkedIn. If you guys want to follow or add me on LinkedIn, it's just my name is my LinkedIn, so it's Marc Shadee, Marc-Shadee on LinkedIn. Probably the best ways to get a hold of me are those 2. But yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. It's a blast.
Thank you so much, Marc. We loved it. And stay tuned. We're working on our October event. It'll be the late October, and we'll let everyone know via LinkedIn and Slack when that comes up and who our speaker will be. So thank you guys. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.